This is Dabu7. We have the CDC saying that red meat allergies caused by a certain type of tick is a rising public health concern at the moment, and that it's spread across half of the country, spreading from all the way up Canada down into Mexico, and as you can see on the map there, covering all those states. Now, this is being spread by the Lone Star tick. This is a tick that has a white dot on its back and kind of stands out when you see it. And it transfers this alpha gal, which is also what it's called, alpha gal syndrome, this alpha gal sugar protein into an individual's body. As a result, the body can develop an immune system response to that sugar whenever one consumes it, with that sugar being inside of most red meats. This seems like some kind of attack or concoction made in a lab, and it very well could be. Unlike deer ticks, the Lone Star tick has a smaller chance of transmitting Lyme disease. However, it can transmit a range of other diseases to people, and it can cause this AGS issue. When we've seen where a lot of this has derived in the past, dealing with Lyme disease and dealing with the other ticks that are carrying it. That coming out of areas like Plum Island, which conducted all types of experiments in the past, and that's where we first started to see the first signs of Lyme disease popping up around that base. Now, with this new one, you can see that it's primarily on the eastern half of the United States. I'm going to say that this is probably where it originated. Probably in a lab the same way. So just a heads up, as they're saying that this is kind of exploding in nature. Just beware when you're out there. Check yourself for ticks and things like that when you come back in from being outdoors. And just be aware. No one out there wants to experience this where you can no longer eat red meat for the rest of your life. Especially if you like to eat red meat. So these symptoms can include a rash, hives, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, shortness of breath, stomach pain, and heartburn. They say symptoms can be mild to severe. And as for this meat allergy, it can manifest hours after taking it. Unlike most things, when someone has an allergic reaction, they have it immediately. The AGS reactions can occur 3 to 6 hours after eating red meat. This can work to close down the airways in an individual and cause all kinds of other symptoms, man. So, just a heads up here, it seems like another attack in motion, blossoming. Join me on the live streams where I talk about this in greater detail, Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, Dabu777.
Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash. I would like to give double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great will, growing and woo will. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, brother, from the standard of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Another lesson through the spirit, more plagues. It says this 3-letter word, and I'm gonna put you brothers and you sisters on something. When you see these people, when you see that, these 3-letter words, this madness here, this wickedness, this witchcraft, followed by the F to the D to the capital A. When you seeing them involved in anything where they approve anything, stay away from it. Point blank period. Because we already know that these organizations, right along with big farmers and corporations, they've been working around the clock to really destroy people and to bring in disruption of human life. And we've seen that the last 3 years, man. You got 18-year-olds collapsing after workouts, man. LeBron James' son went into like almost cardiac arrest, if I'm not mistaken. He just dropped, doing his workout routine. 18-year-old, man. Young guy, full of testosterone and energy, and man, metabolism is on point. Freaking passing out from stuff. I was reading the other day, I believe a woman, I think she was like maybe in her 30s. It says a mother of 4 basically dropped dead on a treadmill, man. You see? So, yeah, man, it's a lot of death that's getting ready to hit Babylon, okay, due to these plagues. But it says, warns red meat allergy caused by ticks and emerging public health. And you know what? This doesn't surprise me, man. because people have been developing food allergies and sensitivities like out the blue. Like, I know that lifestyle and factors plays a role in it, over a course of time. Like a lot of times, when you're a kid, you're a teenager, you're consuming a lot of junk food, you're not really eating healthy, you don't think nothing about it because it's just like, well, it's food, it's filling me up. See, when we're young, when we're kids, we're only thinking about the art of getting full and having our belly satisfied, not looking at the healing properties that food can actually adhere to your being. But instead, we're focused on how it tastes. So when you 5, 6, 7, 18, 19, 20, 21, 25, you've been consuming fast food and fried foods. Eventually, shit does catch up with you, followed by drinking and partying all the time. Yeah, eventually your system gonna crash on you, bro. But some cases, man, allergies just appear out of the blue. Like all of a sudden, back in January, man, I just developed like this. Well, I kind of know what it is. I know what it is now. Like, and I've said it before. It's like inflammation in the stomach, gastritis, and it could be caused by just different bacteria in the gut, a mixture of good and bad. Sometimes the bad outgrows the good, sometimes particular food allergies. But it was to the point that if I ate like a hamburger or something, I'd be like jacked up. Like, now I'm back pretty much almost optimal, but I'm very, very conscious on what I put in my system. If it's like a lot of bread, I won't do a lot of bread because, the bad enzymes it has in it, don't have really digestible fibers as they claim to have in these breads and these particular foods created in the lab. So, very, very careful about what you put in your body. But nonetheless, man, this food that they're having now, okay, like a report came out about a month ago that the Biden administration approved of lab-grown chicken, okay, which causes cancer, okay, all types of autoimmune deficiencies and so forth. And this is why people are sick, followed on top of the juice that they drank last year and the year before last. Okay, these are all contributing factors to a health crisis, a public health crisis here in Babylon that they claim they're trying so hard to reverse, but yet these are the same people that screaming, well, we have to help the people, but you're putting out the poison that's taking them out. So it's almost counterproductive. It's like, dude, what are you doing? But this is the devil. And this is why you have to understand the enemy. You have to understand Esau. You have to know his nature, and you have to understand it, man, because if you are oblivious to the nature of a serpent, then you're going to get bit by it, man. Certain snakes snakes are dangerous. Certain snakes are not dangerous when you keep them at a bay, but the minute a snake creeps up on you, man, it's going to get you. That's why it's good to keep snakes at a bay. Certain people have them as pets. Me, period, I won't have no snake in my house, man. And it's not that I have anything against the snake creature, because that's their nature. Okay, they're very subtle like that. They're very crafty. Okay, beautiful creatures, beautiful reptiles. They have very smart by far. But you have a man that take on a characteristic of a serpent. That's a dangerous man. Okay, you see, and that's a man that you have to stay away from. You see, like I said, I won't have any pet snakes. I like snakes as far as their nature and the fact that they're based on a lot of arts like kung fu and so forth. You got different styles, the crane and mantis, which are particular reptilian styles. But even then, it is like, I don't want no snake in my house if I can help it, because who knows, he may coil you up at night, before you know it, and you suffocating in your sleep. Here you done fed this nigga, you feed him eggs and all types of stuff, man. All of a sudden, he's trying to eat your ass. So no thank you. All right. But it says here, said that red meat allergies caused by certain types of ticks and the emerging public health concern. And you got to be careful with public health. Okay, public health is not here to help our people. Definitely not, Jake. And I know that because I work with people in public health, and trust me, it's all bullshit. All right, ain't nothing but a bunch of black women, okay, that think they on the level with these fake ass PhDs and these fake credentials that Esau have given them to constantly cause friction in the community. And Esau does that because he knows the woman is not gonna. If you give the woman something that's appearing or that appears to be powerful or something that she can use to abuse, she's gonna go with it, no question. As long as she can have PhD behind her title, what I'm saying, and some type of woman's empowerment, hey, she's all for it. She don't give a damn about the results, about who it hurts and destroys. She don't care about that, because that's not Eve's nature. She's careless, man. You know, this is why they have to be put in order. But it says alpha-gal syndrome, or known as AGS, is a serious and potentially life-threatening allergic reaction that comes after people eat red meat or consume products that have alpha-gal, a type of sugar found in most mammals, according to the CDC. So basically, this concoction they created, which all things, you know, and you have natural particular insects that's poisonous by nature, but see what Esau does, he genetically modifies it. Because let's just say if this was an actual particular tick that was actually created by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and let's just say the Most High created 10 million for a continent to bring in balance to an ecosystem. Esau, what he would do, he will capture the particular bug and he will transport it to a laboratory. Okay, he'll splice the genomes and he will make like a hybrid copy of that. And he will make 30, 40, 50, 60 million of those particular copies so it can throw off the ecosystem. Because once you throw off ecosystems, then things starts to function outside of their natural parameters. Okay, like you have like, let's say for instance, man, you have like jackals, you have lions, you have tigers. Okay, you have deers. All these particular things have praise. Okay, they're hunted and they hunt. Now, if you have like an elk or something or a bison that hunts particular smaller insects, whatever, and it totally depletes the entire population of insects, Esau create more. So therefore, everything will get out of balance. And once it's out of balance, then before you know it, you got the elk turn on other elk, other bison. They trying to attack humans. This is all, it's all the order, and Esau throws it off because he creates more. Whole thing about the genetically modified mosquitoes. This man killed Gates, I believe, released over 1 million something mosquitoes a couple of years ago in Florida somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Like, why the hell would you want to release an over influx of mosquitoes when mosquitoes are a nuisance to begin with? And if they're dying off so-called naturally, it's because you're destroying ecosystems, man. Okay, if you have 10 million mosquitoes to a continent, why the fuck do you need to have 60 million? And if they all die off, then you put 100 million. You know, but forget about the butterflies and the bumblebees and the trees and stuff. Like right now, it's the middle of summertime and trees look like they're dying, man. You know, the greenery is real dull. You know, but anyway, it says this syndrome is caused by a Lone Star tick, which Texas, the Lone Star State, they call it. It says which can transfer alpha-gal into the individual's body. And as a result, the body can develop an immune system response to the sugar whenever one consumes it. So that's crazy, man. That's a weapon. It says the Lone Star tick, or the, what is it called? Amblyoma, or no, it's Amblyoma americanum, can be across the southeastern and eastern United States, as well as Mexico and parts of Canada. It says the tick has a single spot on its back, earning the Lone Star name. It said it is known also as the northeastern water tick or the turkey tick. Unlike deer ticks, the Lone Star tick has a smaller chance of transmitting Lyme disease, but however, it can transmit a range of other diseases to people, such as monocytropic ehrlichiosis and tularemia and southern tick-associated rash illnesses. It says there have also been reports that is a vector in the Harlan virus. But it says the tick generally lives in wooded areas, namely where white-tailed deer resides, but it can also be found in areas between grassy and forested ecosystems, using thick underbrush or high grass to attach to its victim, like the deer tick or other ticks. And what's so crazy about this is that ticks normally don't search out people, but usually in Esau shit, these ticks somehow, some way, will be microscopically programmed or some type of program through their genome however the hell Esau does it. These things will actually look to attach themselves to you, man. And usually if a tick get on your skin, you pretty cool unless it bulges. When it bulges inside and it gets in the bloodstream, that's when you probably much in trouble. But I mean, when you work in the grass and out in the field, you have ticks on your socks. You may have them on your clothes, especially out here in Missouri. But usually if it's not burrowed into the skin, you be all right. You know, like you come home, ticks be on you. You out working, like I said, working in a forest. Like I've done several jobs out in the grass areas and stuff like that. And I've never seen any ticks, but that doesn't mean they wasn't on me, you know. And then you come home, you wash them off. But once it indulges inside the skin, that's when it can become potentially fatal. So you got to be very, very careful, man. All right. But nonetheless, these are plagues that the Lord is bringing back on the left-hand side because, where was I? Yeah, matter of fact, let's go here. Looked up the plagues of Egypt, and you got the 10 plagues of Egypt. Okay, then the first one, and they give you the precepts, which is Exodus 7:14 through 24, and it goes into the plague of blood. Okay, which there's been over the years we've been seeing in particular river streams turn into blood, like a red algae or like a tide almost. It says the Nile along with water in Egypt turns into blood, but Pharaoh does not let the Israelites go. Then you go down to verse 25, you got the frogs, man. But then the point was the gnats and the flies, okay, which is basically the insects. And you have an overinflux of gnats, biting midges, okay, mosquitoes. You have things that bite and irritate you, but I don't see butterflies anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't see bumblebees like that anymore. And if you do see bees, you see more like wasps, yellow jackets, and they're very aggressive, man. All right. But it says the dust turned to gnats, which cover the people and the animals of Egypt. Okay. Flies fill the houses of the land of Egypt. Pharaoh promises to let us go. But anyway, let's get the account of that in Exodus, the 8th chapter, starting verses 16, the plague of insects. Okay. Because a tick is still considered an insect. So it says, and Yahweh said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. Okay, and then you go into lice, it's going to go into the gnats. Okay, goes into gnat swarm, right? Gnats, man. And you look up gnats, you have several hundreds of species of gnats out there. Okay, I use the term, I call them is his actual term you can look up, called no-see-ums. Motherfuckers thought I was bullshit. They're like, man, you making it up. You made it up, no-see-ums. No, look up. It's called no-see-ums, and they put that shit in quotation mark. It's basically another way of calling them. That's a nickname they gave what they call punkies and sandflies, man, because they're so small you can't see them, but you can feel it. It's like, I know something is crawling on you and tearing you up, but you can't see it. And I would know that because I've been getting bit by these motherfuckers for like 4 years now. So they definitely exist. Okay. They consider non-biting flies to be gnats. That's a damn lie, man. No-see-ums are biting flies and they consider gnats. So make up your mind, E. But it says, and the Lord said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And we know that gnats derive from the earth. Okay, that's why a lot of times the grassy areas, even a lot of dirt-filled areas, a lot of moisture, sometimes by ponds and lakes and rivers, you have an overswarm of gnats because they thrive in moisture, man. Like a lot of times if you have them in your houses, because they're coming through the drains. Okay, the drains, and you have condensation somewhere, you have some type of humidity in the house. And a lot of times, since those pipes leak, they become old. And a lot of these old pipes in these cities are directly linked to these sewer systems. So what happens is those gnats from the dead larvae and the food and stuff like that, and the constant corroding of pipes, those gnats will find their way inside the house. This is why it seems like you can't really get rid of them. But really, it's a plague. You see what I'm saying? Because Esau, Edom, he does not know how to run an ecosystem. That's why they got this whole 20-year thing out here in Kansas City. They're trying to separate the stormwater from the wastewater, because in the 30, 40, 50, matter of fact, back in the 20s and 30s, all those systems was connected. So your stormwater and your wastewater runs through the same underground pipes. You know what I'm saying? And this is why they have those treatment plants, because they're trying, basically the water you're drinking and the water that you're taking a shower in is nothing but treated wastewater. And I know that for a fact because I've seen it. I've seen how it operated. I've worked at a plant and I've seen it. I've seen how they've done it, and I've talked to people that work for the city organizations about what they do. So I've seen it firsthand. I've seen their grit channels. I've seen the shit that goes in. I've seen people clean them out. It is disgusting, man. And to know that you're bathing in that, because like I said, these systems, these pipes, they're all connected. This is why they're trying to run stormwater and wastewater separately. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Esau doesn't know how to rule an empire. Okay, everything is recycled, but it's nasty, it's gross. But it says, and they did so, and Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in men and in beasts, and all the dust of the land become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth life. So they mimicked it. Okay, Salakia, Pharaoh came with his, the Egyptians, which are Hamites, they came with theirs on the left-hand side to mimic the miracles that Moses and Aaron did through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, which was the spiritual power. So this day and age, Esau is totally operating on a left-hand frequency. So the right hand has to come up, because if you look at the odds now, it look like the right hand is down, bro. Like, look like we down bad, man down, right? Nah, the Lord is perfecting the work in us, man. You know, he's building us up. We're in training camp right now. You know what I'm saying? And it says, the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth life, and they could not. So there was lice upon men and upon beasts. And the magician said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of the Most High. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had said. And Yahweh said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, thus says Yahweh, let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servant, and upon thy people, and into thy houses. And the houses of Egyptians should be full of swarm of flies, and also the ground where they lay. And these probably was some big ass. These flies was probably as big as shit, man. It wasn't an average. It wasn't an average horse fly today. Horse flies are pretty big. They like the size of a quarter. These flies could have been as size as laptops, man, flying around. Because remember, men were bigger back then. Everything was more bigger then. You know, the average Egyptian was probably like fucking 15, 20 feet. That's why when you look in the old Egyptian temples and the pyramid, that's why those doorways are so high, because those men were tall. Like, they're literally, like, compare us now to then, it's literally night and day. You know what I'm saying? That's like us to a newborn kitten, man. It's like, wow. And we gonna get that statue back too. Damn, I lost my place. And it says, and I was serving in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarm of flies should be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. And I will put division between my people and thy people, and tomorrow shall this sign be. And Yahweh did so, and there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh and his servants' houses, and all the land of Egypt, and the land was corrupted by reason of a swarm of flies, man. Okay, so Yahweh Shemi Shai, he's bad. These plagues, man. Okay. I know Nat is not in the scriptures. I don't know why I even did that. I'm just doing some shit. See if it pop up, but I know that's not in the scripture. Well, I mean, yeah, Nat. I mean, but that's it's like a metaphor almost, you know. But nonetheless, let's get another precept real quick. This is the reason why we got to get out of here, because it's to the point. The food supply is toxic, like to the point, who knows, you eat the meat, it may have this particular parasite in it already. You know, like eating red meat today, man, you got to be very, very careful, because you just don't know. You never know what you're putting in your body, but, you know, it's all through the mercy of the Lord. But this is the book of Mark 13, and I'm going to start verses 19. It says, for in those days should be affliction, such it was not from the beginning of the creation which the Most High created unto this time, neither shall be. So it's getting ready to get bad, bros. And except that the Lord have shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he have chosen, he have shortened the days. That's why time is speeding up. This is why the Lord is getting ready to deliver us from this man's hands. Because if not, man, it ain't really no hope. But we would never lose our hope in the Lord, because he promised that he was going to deliver us, man. That's why it says here, Psalms 91:1, it says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And what's the secret place? First and foremost, knowing the name of the Lord in this truth. All right. And I would say of Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress of my power. In him I would trust. Surely he should deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And he should cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings should thou trust. His truth should be thy shield and buckler, okay, which proves the point. It says, thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that fly by day. Right, the terror by night, Jacob's trouble, and the arrow that fly by day being the missiles, man. Okay, nor the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor the destruction that wasted in noonday, man. Okay, and that's the point. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy right side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come near thee. but only with thy eyes should thou see the reward of the wicked man. You see? So that's the point. The Lord said no plague should come near our dwelling. You know? And it says here, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come near thy dwelling, or come nigh thy dwelling. So faith, brothers, we gonna need it. We gonna need protection at all costs. But anyway, I'm in it there. All praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and Abba Shalom.